So the dynamic between me and my last girlfriend was embarrassing, to say the least. And in today's video, I'm gonna explain everything so that you can understand why that was. So the last girl that I dated was very career focused. This was back in college. So she had been studying for about 3 years at the time to become an occupational therapist. Most of her time was spent studying. She was always applying for different schools and going on different interview calls. And she was always getting prepared, always studying, like she was busy all the time. Me, on the other hand, I was not very career focused at all. Most of my time was spent either playing video games, trying to level up on Call of Duty, trying to bust as many nuts as possible, watch as much porn as I could possibly consumed in one day, or, best of all, I was trying to see how many whiskey cokes I could slam in one night. And some of you may be watching this video and thinking to yourself, dude,
that's exactly how my life looks. Like, that's how my relationship with my girlfriend looks. Like, what's wrong with that?
And I'm glad you asked, buddy. In the beginning of the relationship, things were good. I think that she thought that I had a lot of social value. I was popular in my fraternity at the time. I had a lot of followers on Instagram. A lot of people knew who I was. And if you haven't realized by now, women put high status on a pedestal. Like, they want guys that are the best of the best. And I'm not saying that to put down women. That's just how God designed them. So she was very attracted to me in the beginning. But as the relationship progressed, things started to go south fairly quickly. Because of my total lack of purpose and mission in my life, I had nothing going on, I hated my job, I didn't know what I was gonna do for school, I would put all my eggs into the basket of the relationship. I'd put everything into it because that was the only thing that I enjoyed in my life that I had going on. And as a result of that, when things would go sour or we'd get in an argument, I was down in the dumps because that was my everything. That was everything that I was focusing my energy into. When I tell you I had nothing going on, I had nothing going on. She would beg me to
open up more and to be more emotional and just tell her what's really going on
all the time. And after months of this, I finally started to do that. So I would be arguing with her, cussing her out, yelling, and crying on her shoulder all at the same time. How embarrassing is that? And as a result of me being an emotional soy boy, complaining and arguing and fighting and crying, this girl just started to lose respect for me. Who would have thought? All of a sudden, she just started posting more provocative photos on Instagram where she's like, hey guys, and she's posting bikini pictures. All of a sudden, after 8 straight months of us dating and her never going out unless it was with me, all of a sudden she wants to go on girls' nights out, and this just starts to pick up in terms of frequency. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going on? I finally decided to cut things off. And I remember for months after this relationship ended, I didn't take any responsibility.
Well, dude, she told me to open up and be an emotional lesbian to her, and that's exactly what I did. Why is she leaving now? Why is she acting out? I did what she told me to do, and it didn't work out. Why was that?
Well, after over 3 years of being on self-improvement and studying things like polarity and masculine and feminine dynamics and relationships overall, in today's video, I'm gonna explain to you exactly why that relationship went south. Now, if you don't know me already, my name is Braden. I help Christian men to transform their lives through faith-based self-improvement. If you wanna help me on this journey of making Christian men both masculine and strong again, do me a favor, scroll down and click on that subscribe button right now. Now, if you relate to any part of the story that I just shared with you, odds are you're a very feminine man. Now, at the same time, it's not your fault because our society has done this to you. Now, you probably were raised primarily by women, right? You were in a public school or a private school. You've literally been indoctrinated by the feminine structure of the education system. You also probably eat a bunch of processed garbage that absolutely tanks your testosterone levels. Just so you understand, the average guy that's watching this video right now probably has a testosterone level of anywhere from 300 to 500 nanograms per deciliter, which is absolute garbage. And just to put it into perspective, your grandpa probably had a testosterone level of over 1,000 nanograms per deciliter, which means you're at about a third of the test that he's working with. So it makes sense why you feel like a feminine soy boy all the time. You're always emotional, you have no energy, you're lazy, you're probably addicted to instant gratification, you like watching porn, or you like playing video games all day or scrolling on social media. And all of this leads you to a life where whenever you're faced with difficulties or you're faced with problems, instead of hitting them head on like a masculine man of God with a plan and a strategy of exactly what you need to do, you would rather go into your room and cry about it. Am I right? Now, what I'm not saying is that it's bad for you to have feminine aspects of your life. Like, all of us have a balance within ourselves. Even I have feminine aspects of my life. Like, what I'm doing right now, like making this video for you, is feminine in and of itself. Like, I'm literally teaching you information. I'm showing you empathy with the problems that you're facing in your own life. It's not bad to be feminine in parts of your life. The real issue is that most of us are about 50-50. You're half masculine, half feminine, when in all reality, it should look more like 80-20, where you're 80% masculine, most of you is masculine, strong, disciplined, focused, purpose-driven, mission-focused, and then you have that 20% where you have empathy, you are more emotional. Like, that's fine, but you don't want to be 60 or 70% feminine or even 50-50, because that's going to lead to a life where you're depressed, you don't understand what's going wrong with your life, you can't get anything done, you're not focused, and you're just wasting your life. As masculine men of God, we must increase our masculine energy. If you want to be a part of our movement, like if you want to get on a faith-based self-improvement to improve your life, to transform the way that you think, the way that you act, the results that you're getting in your life, in every aspect of your life, you have to have a desire within yourself to become a stronger man. Like, you have to want to become the man that God has created you to be. How do we do this? Step number one is you need to find your purpose. The reason why I was so emotionally dependent on my girlfriend at the time was because I didn't have a purpose. I had nothing to focus my masculine energy into other than the relationship. That's why whenever we would fight or things weren't going well, I would get so upset. As a masculine man of God, you have to have a purpose. You have to have a reason for waking up in the morning. For some of us, that may be getting into better shape, getting a six-pack, building a business, or figuring out how to get your money up, maybe focusing all that energy into your career. Or it could be simply wanting to grow deeper in your relationship with God. This is a quote from one of the books that I've been reading. It's called The Way of the Superior Man by a guy named David Data. It says, the core of your life is your purpose. Everything in your life, from your diet to your career, must be aligned with your purpose in a way if you were to act with coherence and integrity in this world. Your purpose must be in the forefront of your mind. And if you're a Christian man watching this video right now, I can tell you what your purpose is. It's to glorify God with your life. And the word glorify means to make known. Our purpose as masculine men of God is to make God known in everything that we do, regardless of what your career is, what you do for work, where you live, who you're dating, whatever. Your job is to make God known. My purpose right now is to grow this YouTube channel, and also, to grow in my relationship with God. But those two things are coinciding together, because as I grow in my relationship with God, the more things that I learn, the more wisdom and knowledge that I get from reading the Bible, and the more that I have to share with you. And the more that I have to share with you, the more value that I bring into your life. Naturally, this YouTube channel is going to grow as well. And dude, I cannot tell you how much fulfillment, how much purpose, like having this channel and being able to post content on social media has given me. I used to literally do nothing all day. I would consume content on social media and I'd fry my brain and I'd get nothing done at all. And I've gone from a life of purposelessness to a life of fulfillment. Being able to make these videos, waking up every single day with a reason to wake up, right? I wake up and I'm like, what kind of YouTube video could I make? What kind of content should I put out for the fellas watching this channel? How can I grow in my relationship with God? How can I make your life better? And it's so fulfilling. There's nothing that compares to it. The second thing that you need to do is you need to realize that your emotions do not control you. Just because you feel a certain way, it doesn't mean that you have to allow those emotions to rule your life. If your alarm goes off and you don't feel like getting up and you feel like it's, much more comfortable inside of this bed of yours, doesn't mean that you have to hit snooze and go back to bed. You need to get your ass out of that bed and go to the gym. If you feel horny or you feel like a lot of sexual energy within yourself, it doesn't mean you have to go run in the bathroom and beat off. You have to be able to separate your emotions from your actions. Realize that those two things are not always correlated. One of my favorite quotes from a guy on this platform, his name is Hamza. I've shouted him out a few times, even though he makes totally degenerate content now. Do the hard work, especially whenever you don't feel like it. You can't allow your emotions to dictate whether or not you do what you need to do. Doesn't matter how you feel. If you know that you need to go and hit that lift, or you know that you need to get in your Bible, or you know that you need to go to church, you need to spend time with this friend or do whatever, regardless of how you feel, you need to get those things done. And you listening to this video need to take this advice. And I promise you, whenever you actually listen to what I'm telling you to do, you're gonna harness so much masculine energy into your life. It's gonna blow you away. The third and final thing that you must do is you must join a brotherhood of like-minded masculine men. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17 tells us that iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Another one of my favorite quotes is from Jim Rohn. It says, you're gonna be the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if all your friends are soy boys and they're all emotional, they're all crying to their girlfriend, they're all addicted to porn, you're gonna be just like those guys. Do you want to be like those guys? Like honestly, do you want to be crying on your girlfriend's shoulder and having her not respect you? Or do you want to be a strong, masculine rock, like a strong man of God? Think about this. If you wanted to get a six-pack, who would you rather hang out with? Would you rather hang out with all the fat guys that never work out and always talk about getting into better shape and getting on a diet and keto and all that crap and they stay fat? Or do you want to work out with a group of guys that are in the gym every single day and they're tracking their macros and counting their calories and they have a six-pack? Honestly, if you had to pick between those two groups of people, which group do you think is going to help you to get the six-pack? Exactly. In the same way, if you want to find your masculine purpose and you want to become the most strong, disciplined, Christ-centered version of yourself, you have to find a strong group of men that are already where you want to be. Now, if you're watching this video right now and you're like,
Dude, Braden, all my friends are losers and they all cry on their girlfriend's shoulders and they're all addicted to porn. Like, what do? I don't know where to find those kind of guys.
don't worry. What I want you to do is scroll down, hit the top link in the description and join our free Christian Discord so you can finally surround yourself with the right group of people. Everybody in there is on fire for God. Everybody's trying to dial in their fitness, talking about their relationships, how to become a strong, masculine man of God. If that sounds of interest to you, go ahead, join that free Christian Discord, and I'll see you there. Please take action on what you heard today. Do not let this go in one ear and out the other. You deserve to live a life of purpose. You deserve to live life the way that God intended you to, as a masculine, strong, purpose-filled man of God. And if you truly want to find your purpose and live a fulfilling life, by this point in the video, you know exactly what you need to do. If you want to learn more about how to become a masculine man of God, go ahead and watch this video. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.